What is up, everyone? Tim here, and I'm going to be starting my Smite God Guide series here on YouTube. I'm not going to go in any particular order. I'm just going to go with gods that I know first, because obviously I know how to play them the best right now, so I can get this content out quicker, and then I will learn other gods that I'm playing, and obviously put the guides up for those of what works best for me. Just a little disclaimer though, this is not like, a set in stone, you have to do this to do well. It is what I personally feel works best for me and my playstyle, but it might not necessarily work best for you and your playstyle. So just keep that in mind when watching all of these videos, that don't take this by heart. Just use it as a suggestion, use it as a build guide, and kind of go from there and do your own thing. So, that being said, let's get into it. Cupid is the god of love. He is a ranged physical damage dealing character that is both good at carrying with a team or being a support for the team with his hearts. Either way, he is very viable. I prefer to play him as damage, but if you're one of those characters or one of those people that like to support your team, then this might be a god for you also, because he can very well sustain his team with his attack speed buff on his movement speed buff on his flutter, and his hearts on his share the love ability. So sit tight. I hope you guys enjoyed the guide. Remember that this is just a reflection of how I like to play Cupid. It is not a set in stone, this is the only way you should play Cupid. Keep that in mind throughout the whole guide. If you guys have any suggestions or anything throughout the guide, feel free to leave a comment below, and I will take them into consideration. Love Struck is Cupid's passive ability. Every hit with a basic attack will give Cupid a 3% buff to his next ability that he does. This can be stacked up to 10 times. Upon reaching 10 stacks, the next heart, bomb, or fields of level stun the enemy for 1 second when they explode. It's great to build 10 stacks before you use your heart bomb, because you can stun the enemy just like right there. Cupid's main damage dealing ability is Heart Bomb. It does an initial base damage based on the skill level and your physical damage. After 3 seconds, the heart will explode, doing the same amount of damage again, and stunning all enemies around within 20 feet if you have 10 stacks of Love Struck before you cast your ability. Share the Love is Cupid's healing ability. He will throw out 3 hearts, which will heal either Cupid or his allies that pick them up. The heals are scaled on skill level and Cupid's physical power. If picked up by a teammate, Cupid will gain 30 mana for each heart that is picked up. At max skill level, the hearts only cost 80 mana to throw out, so you're looking at about a 10 mana gain if the teammates pick up all 3 hearts. Flutter is basically Cupid's escape. If he ever gets in trouble, it's good to flutter away from enemies, but it's also good to close in on enemies also, because that trail that you see right there, it'll increase allies' movement speed by 35%. Also, when Cupid uses his flutter, he gains attack speed based on the skill level of the skill. You can get up to 20% attack speed whenever it's completely maxed out. You get that for about 4 seconds. Cupid's ultimate is called Fields of Love. He will throw up a rain of arrows, and any enemies caught within it will be slowed by 35%. After the arrows explode, they will do base damage based on skill level, plus damage based on your physical power. Enemies caught inside the field when the arrows blow up will be mesmerized for 3 seconds. This is just a brief overview of my skill layout of how I level them. I like to max out my Heart Bomb right away because it's my biggest damage dealing ability, and then upgrading Flutter next, and then finishing it off with Share the Love, and pick up my ultimate in between whenever I can pick it up. If my team seems to be getting hurt a lot, they seem to be getting low a lot, I will switch out Flutter and I will max out Share the Love first, and then I'll get Flutter after that. But I like to get Flutter first because of the attack speed bonus you do get from that. So for item builds for Cupid, I like to either go with 1 or 2. I have 2 builds I like to build for Cupid. They're all definitely situational, what I feel like playing at the time, everything like that. So this first one that you see on the screen is a complete damage build for Cupid. Got a little bit of attack speed in there, meant for maximum damage. So I start with Heart Seeker. I build that out right, so I can start building those stacks first. Get the Executioner for the attack speed and physical power, and the physical power or physical protection reduction on the enemy. I like to get Fatalis after that for the cooldown reduction and the attack speed. Really helps for getting your 10 stacks with your passive ability. After that, I like to build the Devourer's Gloves. It's good for attack power and lifesteal. You get up to 50 bonus attack power with the Devourer's Gloves once you have the stacks maxed out, so I like to get that a lot. After that is the Deathbringer. The attack power, the crit, and the chance at the crit damage you get from that is just, it's too good to pass up. And follow that up with some Kin's Blade. You get some attack power, you get some attack speed. I believe you get some health with it too. And then the passive is really, really good. You have a 30% chance on your basic hits, which is your basic attack, which your most of the damage is going to come from, to do 10% of the target's max health as magic damage. So that is a huge thing right there. The Kin's Blade is a really nice item to kind of finish off, because no matter what their health is, you have a chance of doing 10% of their health and taking that off right there. So that's a huge thing right there. This next build I have for Cupid isn't your conventional build that you would normally see on a Cupid or hear to be built on the Cupid, but I personally really do like it on the Cupid that I play. It is more of like an attack speed lifesteal type build. Like it's mainly focusing on attack speed and lifesteal. You're lacking a little bit on the power at first, but you kind of make up for it in the end. I'll explain why. So I like to build 2 stacks of the Warrior Tabi, and then finish everything else out, and then finish off my Warrior Tabi. So 2 stacks of Warrior Tabi, and then I like to go Executioner and Fatalis. After that, I like to go with the Soul Eater, because with the Soul Eater you get the physical lifesteal, the attack speed, and the health, the 300 health from it, and you get that buff to your allies. Any physical damage that they do, they get the lifesteal also. After that, I like to build Ankh of the Golem. That's a really good item. It gives you, let me see, the Ankh of the Golem gives you lifesteal, attack speed, and health. And its passive is you gain physical power equal to 1.5% of your maximum, 1.5% of your maximum health. So if you start building a lot of health in your Cupid, that can equal to a lot of power actually. So after that, that's why I like to build the Witchstone. The Witchstone gives you a little bit of physical protection against their AD carries if they have any on their team, which they should. It gives you 15 physical power, 15 attack speed, another 250 health, and it also debuffs the enemy. It reduces their attack speed and their physical power to any enemies within a 30-foot radius. So that is my second build I like to build on Cupid. Like I said, it's not the most conventional build, but it's more of a attack speed, lifesteal, and it actually gives you some decent physical power at the end with the Ankh of the Golem and the Witchstone and the Soul Eater all matched together. As far as abilities I like to build on Cupid, I like to, if possible, I like to build Heavenly Agility and Creeping Curse, but obviously situations arise where you might need to buy Purification Beads, and if that's the case, I like to take Creeping Curse over the Heavenly Agility. In this instance, I am laning with my friend who is playing with a Freya. He's going to use a banish to pop up that Cupid and set up my Heart Bomb on that Cupid. Unfortunately, we don't get the kill, but that's an example right there of how you can use different teammates to set up with a Heart Bomb. In this instance right here, my friend Ryan is playing in mid as Hades. He called for a gank in the mid, so I came over to help him out. I cleaned up that kill on Anubis, and unfortunately we were not able to catch up to that Zeus because the tower was right there. But I did pop some hearts to help him stay in mid a little bit and help his sustain there. I think he cleaned up the Zeus kill later on. In this instance, we have him push back to their tower. Kevin is playing a Freya again. He's a little bit low on health, so I pop out my hearts to help him out, get his health out back a little bit, and get me back to max mana. I just picked up the hearts, so they start to initiate. Cupid with his with his Field of Love, so I pop a Heart Bomb on Cupid to kind of get him to drive him back. Zeus pops his ult and tries to keep with the kill, so I pop some more hearts for little right here, Kevin. And this Zeus for some reason sticks around, and we end up cleaning up the kill on him. That's just a prime example how Cupid can be good for pushing enemies back, helping out your teammates, and just getting some extra damage on those enemies right there. All in all, Cupid is a great god to play, a great all-around god to play. He does pair best with a god who can kind of set up his Heart Bomb, like Sobek in the very early games. You can get upwards of 5 kills before any team hits level 5, or well, you'll probably hit level 5, but before the other team hits level 5, you can get upwards of 5 kills if you lane with the Sobek. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't necessarily only lane with the Sobek. Cupid does great with all the other gods in the game, basically. He does great with Freya, he does great with Odin. Like Odin's ult plus Cupid's ult equals a lot of damage going out, and they can't get away from Cupid's ult if they're in Odin's ult. So those are a few things to keep in mind. Mess around with different lane combos, mess around with different item builds. This was my first guide, my first Smite God guide, so please leave me any feedback down below. I would really appreciate it on how to get better, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.